If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money. Bear with me, just locking a bet in here as we get moving. Hope everyone's doing well here. Thursday, it's the bridge to the weekend. Thursday is connected to Friday. Friday rolls into Saturday. We got a big live stream, dual NFL games on Saturday. But not before we get through a Thursday night battle, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. We're going to be live here tonight. And the game plan is going to be, let's get through these plays so we can get ready for that big live stream tonight. The dual stream between the Razor Sharp Picks and Sports Money channels. Going to be a lot of fun. Get ready to go. And we got a ton of games. We got college basketball, the NBA, the NHL. You name it, we got it. Let me check some things out and make sure we are good to go. It looks like we are good to go. And gotta have to keep a brisk pace tonight, folks. We got 10 plays to get through tonight. And we got to keep a rapid pace because there's not enough time to get reset for the live stream that starts at 7:35. So going to be a ton of fun. Going to have a bunch of cocktails. Going to enjoy the rest of this holiday week. Going to try to make some money while we're at it. And let's go through a quick recap, talk about what happened yesterday, and then we will launch right into this card today. And look at what we've got. Looky. Notre Dame wants a cookie. Big touchdown right there for Notre Dame to start this thing right off. Hopefully you guys did get a chance to check out the video. I made a video today. It's short turnaround, but again, notifications on with the Sports Money Win X Twitter account. I was flipping through my head. Twitter, YouTube. Gave you guys the Notre Dame money line. Gave you guys the Notre Dame in the over in the teaser. And it didn't look so great to start things off with a field goal and a field goal. But Notre Dame is opening up. Talked about this on the video. Expected to see this Georgia defense start to fall down in this big spotlight opportunity, whereas Notre Dame trying to step up. I had 3. I don't know why I had Notre Dame as 3. I see him as 7. But anyways, typos aside, we're looking good. We're on the right start. And you guys know the deal. Follow that Sports Money Wins at X account so that you can catch all the live action when we drop it. Live action, videos, community tab. As soon as it gets dropped out there, we put it over on YouTube for you guys, or on Twitter, so that you can jump over, check it out at your leisure. You don't want to miss out on that cash.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want to play tough and want to hate this, I'll always show up.
All right, let's go. As I said before, big night tonight, big card on deck. So do me this favor. Make sure you do hit that thumbs up button. We're going to fire through a quick recap. And what do we got going on here? What do we got going on here? What do we got going on? There it is. All right. So look, we had a 3-3 day yesterday. We middled it out. We had the Ohio State W. We cashed that New Jersey. The lone spot on the card, New Jersey Kings under 5.5. And we did cash the Sixers by the hook, baby. Got that 6.5. They lost by 6. That was a tight game. I had a little same game parlay. I was saying this to a couple guys earlier today. The total at 220, I had the over. That pushed. Dropped me down to now 3 legs. It was the Sixers plus 6.5. We had the assist, and I think there was something else in there too. But anyways, it was like everything won by the hook. And then I pushed on that. Oh, that was a tight game. Tightly lined game all around. Now, the Dallas Mavericks did not cash, so shout out to Trisha M. She did mention to us the boost. The boost was on, I think she said it was on the Mavericks. So good luck. And they got beat up. So did the over in the Utah Jazz New York Knicks game. They got 222. We had 228.5. And our Giddy Voos and Chicago Bulls did not cash. Voos got his. He did it again. He's rolling. But, middling day. Down, a quarter unit. And it keeps us in the fight. So we're going to open up tonight because we do have a wider card. So we do have more room to work with tonight, more room to maneuver. And so what we've got in front of us are 3 NHL games. We've got the Ducks and Jets. We've got the Senators and Stars, and we've got the Yeti and the Flames. That is the Utah Hockey Club. I refuse to call them the Hockey Club. It just sounds stupid. We know they're going to be the Yeti. Unless they want to become like the Freeze. That might be kind of cool. The Utah Freeze. I don't know. Come up with enough names this past year. Then we've got 2 NBA games. We've got the Pacers and the Heat. We've got the Nets and the Bucks. And then we'll keep an eye on some of these later games as they start to unfold with the line. As we start to see how the line moves, we'll give some of those plays out. I've got a full sheet of them, but I just got to wait and see how some of these lineups and lines do make adjustments. We've got 3 college basketball games. We're going to talk about Milwaukee and Oakland. We're going to talk about American and Navy, and we're going to go into Southern Indiana and Tennessee Tech to give you guys that degenerate college basketball action. And then we'll wrap things up with the Tax Slayer Bowl. Just a little preview. Just one of the plays that I'm going to drop out there. I think it's my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite on the card or not, but I like it quite a bit. And we'll make sure that we get that in there as well. Then freshen up those cocktails because it is go time as we get into the live stream with our friends Razor Sharp Picks and the Sports Money live stream crew. Going to be a ton of fun. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. You know the deal. Now is the time to help us grow this thing. It's time to hit that thumbs up button, close the chat, hit the thumbs up, pop the chat back open. We can get to work. It's so important that you guys do take a second to do that. I know it's the holidays. Views are up. Thumbs are down. Not down, but thumb count is down. How about that? So do me the favor. Just take 1 second. We got all these plays to go through, trying to make this cash for you guys. Just hit that thumbs up for me. Let's get to work, boys and girls. We got our guy Joe T popping off here. Wait a minute. Trisha M becomes a YouTube member? Trisha M, what's going on? Trisha M? Congratulations. Welcome. Thanks, Trisha M. Joe T's in the house. He's going to pop things off for us. You guys know the deal. Number 1 commenter. He's ready to go. He's got a couple of college basketball bets for us here. He's looking at Detroit and Robert Morris over 141. And then Western Kentucky and Liberty at over 145.5. Shout out to Sancho's is tailed on the Irish. Well, we're looking okay. I expect the second half to be a full-on score fest. So we'll see. I think what happened is we saw they played a little chess early. We saw that field goal come through. Big penalty that stops the 7, turns into a 3. And then Notre Dame just comes right back down and does the same thing. Here's a 3, matching punches for punches. They got that big turnover at the end of the first half, and they capitalize on it. The coach there said for Georgia that they got a little risky, a little frisky, didn't quite get where they wanted to go, and Notre Dame capitalized on it. Then they come out now. Now that we've gone kind of blow for blow, things have opened up, and it's getting punch time now. So can't they get anything with you? If you're Georgia, you got to be going deep. This is going to hopefully create some short field opportunities and make our teaser a no sweat casher. So let's go, Sancho. Shout out to Keith's going to be here tonight, rocking with us live. He's got the Nets plus 13.5 versus the Bucks. David Wallace is here. Sancho's here. Jay Stone is here. Man, you guys are ready to rock. I love it. Let's go. Joe W's in the house. Says, let's go, Notre Dame. There's my guy Smoking Mirrors in the house. Irish King. Feel the kill. Feeling good about Notre Dame right now. Yes, sir. We can't cash him yet. But we are looking pretty solid. Shout out to Ramones in the house. My man with the morning steam every Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. I'll tell you what, that man is ready to fire. Let's go, Sir Mackie Loves Pie. I think Rocky killed Apollo because he didn't want the trilogy fight. Is an interesting take. Shout out to Zofe. Jerry Davis says, damn, book voided my Notre Dame plus 3 I got last week. Well, it's because of the day change, right? Or was it the time change? Well, the day change ultimately. The day change ultimately is what did that for you. But you could be able to fight. Here's a little recommendation, Jerry Davis. Reach back out to that book and you let them know. customer service. You got to do this on customer service. Generally speaking, house rules will indicate if it's played within 24 hours of the cancellation, they will still honor that. Generally speaking, I think 95% of the books I utilize follow that system, Jerry. So keep that in mind. Reach out. Very least, maybe they throw you a bonus bet. Very least, maybe you get a bonus. Well, very least, maybe you get nothing and they tell you to F off. But certainly don't just walk away. If you had that +3 and it was time and date stamped, I would certainly reach out to customer service and see if they can't throw you a bone. Let's go. Robert McCormick's in the house. Zoe is a new member. Welcome, Zoe. Appreciate you. Let's go. Jay Peasy. Got my own hype man. It's Jay Peasy, the best in the business to do it. Appreciate Jay Peasy being here. Let's go. Trisha M says, I love gold. What's up? I'll fill the kill. Let's go. Time to get to work, you guys. Lots of things to get going on. Robert McCormick got the early payout on Notre Dame money line. Trisha M parlayed the Rockets with Notre Dame with Ice Cats under. Thursday home under special. That's right. It is. It is Thursday for the home unders for the Ice Cats. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. We got Nicholas Handy's here. Fernando Mendoza. Look at this action he's dropping off for us. Australian A-League's men, Melbourne City versus Wellington. Phoenix, Melbourne City money line. It's now -140. Sounds like you got to get that while it's hot. Nasty Nate says the Celtics smash. We don't have action in that game, but I hope they do, Nasty Nate. I'm not even going to put it in the ether. Shout out to James Parm. Fernando Mendoza says Georgia team total under 23.5 is looking nice right now. Yeah, yes, it is. As long as you don't see the aforementioned shootout. So, Phil the Kill says, hey, don't let them push you around, Jerry, or they will. Fuck yeah, they will. You guys got to, listen, you got to be your own best advocate, right? You got to go out there. Doesn't hurt to ask. It's not like you're out of line. It's not like you're saying, hey, you know what I would even say is the other books that I utilize, keep the bet in place as long as it's rescheduled within 24 hours. Just throw that out there at them. See what they say. Play some, worst case scenario. They say no. Can't lose if you don't ask. You can only lose, I guess, is probably the best. You miss every shot you don't take. How about that? We'll find the right adage to put into this thing. And let's pop off, you guys. Let's get to business. The business of getting to the business here. We got a special spot. The Anaheim Ducks, the Winnipeg Jets. Kind of feels a little bit like them Ice Cats. See a message here. I got this. Normally I don't have my I was doing something. I needed an extra screen today. So the tablet was up and the tablet threw me for a little whack there. It's a very funny message. Okay. Who's ready to get to work? I know I sure am. Make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up button, please. And thank you very much. 10 plays. We're going to rapid fire through this card here. I apologize if I move quickly and miss a couple of you guys in the chat. I will do my best to keep our eye on the prize. The Anaheim Ducks, the Winnipeg Jets pop off. Johnny Gibson at 5-5-1. 2.93 goals against average. I'll tell you what's not helping is this game being right there. All 65 inches of its glory. Connor Hellebuck will start for the Winnipeg Jets. 24-5-1. The Buck. 2-0-6. 93% save percentage. A league high. 5 shutouts. What do you want? The dude's an animal. And he's rested. Coming in off a night off. They did take the loss. Sometimes you wonder, is this a scheduled loss? The Colorado Avalanche. They get beat up 5-2, but he's back, and they got the Ducks. And my goodness, you got the Vezina Trophy opportunity out there. This is the numbers. These are the numbers we talked about the other day. 2.06 goals against average, 93% save percentage. That's going to lead. If you can get that sub 2 ideally, and that 92.5% plus, that is elite status. That's what you want to look for when you're trying to find these goalie matchups and potential mismatches as well. And I'm good with that. I'm looking at this thing here. We got the Ducks coming in feeling good about themselves, riding themselves a nice little 2-game win streak. And what's happening? What do we know about this game? Let me keep it short. Let me keep it sweet. Let me get right to the point for you guys with this thing here. We got ourselves an under situation. I know. It's an under in the NHL. It's under season in the NHL. Keep that in mind as well. As we get moving through this thing here, you're going to start to see these things tighten up. We're starting to see these teams kind of show who they truly are. And this team here, what we know is we got a 12-game winning streak rolling in our favor. Of course, the Winnipeg Jets, probably one of the most dominant teams in terms of that stopping the puck. It starts with a rested goalie. That's a Vezina Trophy front runner right now. And the nice part about this on the counterpoint is we've got the Ducks. They're allowing 66.8 shots per game in 5-on-5 situations. So shot attempts. Now they're blocking quite a few of those, but it is the second worst in the league. I do think it's a great bounce back spot for these Winnipeg Jets. I wouldn't be mad if you wanted to get in there and do a little same game parlay with the Jets in the under 6.5. But the Ducks, after a win, have gone under 12 straight times. We got back-to-back wins. They did cash that under the other day for us 2 times in a row now. Back-to-back wins means we roll with the under in the Ducks. But if that's not good enough, then we got to look at the other side of things and see what's that other team telling us. Well, when the Jets play a shit team is defined by sub 500. The under has gone 44-18. They are just built to beat you up, and that's the Duck situation in this case here. So we're going to open the card off. We're going to take an under with the Winnipeg Jets game, under 6.5. I'm going to 6. If you can get 6 and you can keep the juice down, I'm not against paying a little juice. I mean, you see what's happening with some of these spots where we're taking the hook. We're up a half a unit, we're down a quarter unit. It's not making a big difference in the long run. We'll see how it aggregates out over the NHL season, but if you can get the 6.5, go for it. If you can only get a 6, go for it. If you want to feel spicy and you want to try to go for the 5.5 and try to catch a big plus money spot, those unders have been 1.4 goals per game in the unders on those situations. So JP's, he says, Gibson and net under could be in jeopardy. I see him. I tell you what, I love today's hockey card. And then they put these goalies out there, and I'm okay with that because the Bucks are playing well. Well as defined by winning their last 2 games. So we'll see. What's up, Mitch? Yeah, he says my Buckeyes put the belt the ass. Easy money. It sure was. I was thinking 3-2, JPZ. This might even be an overtime situation, just based on the fact that that we're seeing that the Winnipeg Jets want to try to bounce back. They only scored 2 goals that last game. Keep that in mind. Doesn't matter who their goalie was. They only scored twice. And Phil the Kill says, someone tell the NHL it's not illegal to have day games every so often. I know. I'd love. You know what though? We've got the bowl game today, so it's okay. It's okay to give us a little evening action. Let's go. I serious typo here. I'm not serious, but switched a letter around. Game number 2, we're going to look at the Ottawa Senators and the Dallas Stars. Of course, we check at the goaltending, the peeps on the net minder, and Levi Merilainen. Livy Merilainen. I'm about 95% confidence on Merilainen, but I'm not very confident. When you put those 2 E's, a V, and then an I next to each other, you know what's trying. When you got more vowels in the name than you do consonants, I struggle mightily. 2-1 is this Merilainen. All is not a total throwaway with this young buck in net with a 2.68 goals against average, a 90% save percentage. And what did the Dallas Stars do? They started to struggle. They ran the tread off the tires of one Jake Ottinger. So what did they have to do? They were struggling as well to find those wins. They went to Casey DeSmith. They caught a win. 4-2. They beat up the Buffalo Sabres. Ottinger coming in 17-9-1 with a 2.48 goals against average, a 90.9% save percentage. Just that in itself. Goalie A versus goalie B. Do you see a decided advantage? I know the experience. I got it. I'm a full idiot. Totally get it. But my concern is Dallas coming into this thing. They do have a nice little 2-game winning streak. They needed Casey DeSmith. They had to put the rest on Jake Ottinger. And they've been scoring. They are finding the back of the twine. But Ottinger, shaky at best. He's lost 3 of his last 4 games. They're 1-2-1 in those spots. Saved 24 of 25 shots in a win, 5-1 win over the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, hear me out. Hear me out with this play because you're going to look at it and be like, whoa, wait a minute. Ottinger. I got it. I don't care. Here's the deal. We talked about this. Every square out there kept talking about the 9-game road trip for the Senators. I'll tell you what. I've done a little research the last couple of days with some slower schedules, trying to just look at some ideas to improve the show. First and foremost, I got to improve this fucking pink. But there are a lot of bad guys out there, a lot of bad cappers. Wow. To see it, to say the least. And this 9-game streak that everybody was talking about was the biggest thing that jumped out to me. And I just, you got a team in the Senators with Christmas break scheduled in between there. What a bad misread. 4-2 over the 6-game stretch. Who did the Senators lose to in that 9 games? So they got 9 games on the road. They're 4-2 in that stretch where it's such a bad stretch with a 9-game road trip. They busted up the Kraken 3-0. They beat up the Flames 3-2. They beat up Vancouver 5-4. They had back-to-back struggle buses. But who'd they play? The Oilers. They held them down. They kept it to a 3-1 game. They lost, and they screwed the puck line. But 3-1. Then you look at the next game. They play the Jets. There's a touchdown. There's the scoring that I expected to start coming out of the wayward. What an ugly touchdown celebration. 4-2 against the Jets. We just talked about the Jets. One of the best teams in the league with one of the best goalies in the league. How do they bounce back? Well, they take the Wild, who's also a front runner now in the West, and they bust up the Wild 3-1. Lower scoring games. They're playing defense. They're stepping in front of shots, protecting that goaltender, not having him exposed to a full 45, 50 shots per game. Now they got the Dallas Stars. And on the flip side, as you look at Dallas' schedule, this is where I'm trying to share with you guys. It's a scheduling opportunity. This is a step up in class. We see the like opponent at home was Minnesota Wild. The Dallas Stars lost 3-2. Then they play the Blackhawks. They win 5-1. Whoop-de-doo. Then they play the Sabres. They win 4-2. Now you got this Ottawa Senators team coming in, and it's price tagged at plus 175 because of the goaltender. This is where you got to take a shot. This is where you maximize your ROI. You just look at these two teams and the direction they're trending. From a Senators perspective, if you look at the remainder of what they've got for this 9-game extensive road trip, they only got 2 left after this one. But where I expect things to get awry for this, kind of looking ahead, I pretty much capped the entire month of January for this Ottawa Senators. I don't even know why. I don't even know what I was doing. But I started looking through it, and I was like, all right, speaking of scheduling spots, they got Dallas. Then they play at St. Louis. They'll finish off against Detroit. That'll be the 9th game before they head back home. I expect they'll lose against Detroit. That's that last game on the road. They're either going to lose the St. Louis or Detroit game. Then they've got Buffalo at home before they go right back on the road again to take Pittsburgh, and then they have Dallas coming back in January 12th. My point around all of that is bad scheduling situation for Dallas. They're stepping up in class, and they're taking on heavyweight contenders right now in this Ottawa Senators team. I'm going to take a shot with them. I think it's a great price tag for us. Get in there. Get this money with me. I'll tell you what. I don't have it on the schedule here, but another team that's kind of getting overlooked right now, the Philadelphia Flyers. Over the month of December, they have stepped up. Talk about stepping in front of shots, helping your goaltenders out. Now, Ersson got hurt that last game. They had to roll back in there with this Philadelphia team, and they had to put in Kolosov. He has not had the finest of starts in his rookie schedule, but he did step in after we saw Ersson get hurt. He completed that game. They won that game 4-0. It was against the Sharks, so let's not go firing off the fireworks just yet. But my point around this is both these teams are priced around plus 170, plus 200. One of these two does win tonight for sure. It's just a matter of which of the two is it going to be. Is it going to be in both? I don't know. I don't care if the Flyers win or not in this spot. To me, it's more, especially against a Vegas team. I like the under in that game too. I know that's contrary to popular opinion, but there's a lot, especially with the Flyers team, that's trending to the under when it comes to stepping in front of shots and making those appropriate defensive moves to keep the puck under control and time on possession. Don't be surprised to see at least one of these two teams win. My money's on the Ottawa Senators. This spot in the schedule, again, with the step up in class for Dallas, is more of a fade of Dallas than it is a play on Ottawa. But why not play on Ottawa? They're playing 4-2 on this extensive 9-game road trip. Blah, blah, blah. That's going to be play number 2. We're going to go to the Utah Yeti and the Calgary Flames. For what we have is an odds maker special right now. The sharp buying report has come in as well. And it makes a lot of sense when you start to kind of peel the onion back on this one. The Yeti are going to go back to Vemelka. Vemelka is sitting at 8-10 on the season. He's 2.4 goals against average. But surprisingly, the Flames have been playing well with Dustin Wolf. We talked about the feeder system. The goaltending development program that Calgary Flames has is pretty phenomenal. Danny Vladar will be starting in net, however. They're giving Dustin Wolf the night off. Interesting position because when you look at it, Vemelka has lost his last 3. He's in that serviceable bucket, right? What's defined as serviceable? 90.6% save percentage, 2.4% or 2.4 goals against average. That's that serviceable bucket. So you're bringing in a serviceable guy. You got the Flames coming off that win against the Canucks. That was the win that kept my ass. That was the last leg of a 7-leg parlay. And they got me. But I don't think they get me again tonight here. Look, home dogs against the Yeti. Not scoring goals. We talked about the Yeti on the downtick. They're 0-4. They're getting outscored 16-6. Now I talk about this being the odds maker special because look at the line. Look at where this line is sitting. They are begging you. They are begging you to take the Calgary Flames tonight. Begging you for it. Now, the Flames coming off that big win against Vancouver, I understand it. I see it. I think the idea there is look at this price tag. Is it coordinated specifically to this goaltender? That I'm not so sure of, but I know that when I'm getting an opportunity like this here, teams off a loss against conference opponents, 170-68. It's on a 9-1 stretch its last 10. That is a Utah Hockey Club spot tonight. I told you, I think sometimes we look at these trends. They're like the code to the sports almanac, or at least they're the same logic that the algorithm at the sports books are using because there's a reason the Yeti come in here at -120. It's the old bounce back spot. And when you're on the road as a favorite, after a loss and your opponent got the win, it's the buy low, sell high position. You're 172-82 in those spots. That has ticked back to just 6-4. But I think it's a good opportunity for us. There's a reason the Yeti are pumping this thing out there as those big of favorites. We'll take the Utah Yeti to cap off our 3-spot NHL plays here for the evening. And we'll keep her moving. We'll move on into the association. Take off the ice skates, lace up the high tops. Get ready to go. What do we got? What do we got? Stirring Company says Flyers OT win. Looking at live draws in all games tonight, especially Jets and Lightning. I'll tell you what, and I'm going to give you another one. I told you I got a bunch of plays that I really like. Go Notre Dame. What? Oh, don't have the stupid flag. You got to look at Braden Point. Dude's got 23 goals in 26 games. One of the league leaders in Braden Point. He was injured. But, man, since he's come back, you can see why they were comfortable getting rid of Steve Stamkos. Points you got to get involved. If you're looking for a player prop, if you want to parlay a player prop together with a juicy team in Tampa Bay to bring it down to around even money, I would take Point. Take Point to at least get a point. Parlay it with the Tampa Bay money line. Tampa Bay, though, both. Here's another spot for you guys to consider. Some of you guys are really high on Florida tonight. Montreal went down to Florida and busted up both the Panthers and the Lightning. That was right around the holidays. So we'll see if we can get that bounce back. Big Scott likes the Lightning money line in the over 6.5. I get it. I just don't know. I just don't know how. I just couldn't get there ultimately. For me, it's Carolina in the under spot. But I watched Florida get busted up against that Montreal team. They were lifeless. They were helpless out there. Mitch is asking my thoughts on the Bruins Rangers. I like the Rangers in that one. Yeah, I think the Rangers break the streak. Just a couple spots to consider as well on the NHL card. We'll talk more about that as we get into the live stream. But for conversation purposes, there's a couple other looks for you guys to consider. The official plays will be the Ducks under 6.5, riding that 12-game streak. Plus, we have the counterpoint with the Winnipeg Jets. We're going to take the Senators in that scheduling spot for the Dallas Stars and a level up in competition against the mid-road trip Ottawa Senators at +175. And we're going to take the Books Know Something price tag with the Yeti at -120 to pop this card off. If I were to label this play, I would say this play is the asshole of the day play for me. I don't like the NBA at all. Just because there's a lot of games doesn't mean we got to like them all. But at 7:30, the Miami Heat and the Indiana Pacers will pop off in South Beach. And we've got reverse line movement on the side. The Heat opened up as 2.5-point favorites. We have 60% of the bets, 60% of the cash. They've dropped to -1.5. But look at this total. 90% of the bets, 90% of the cash on the over. What has the line done? It gone from 226.5 to 225.5. That's kind of a concern right there. We got the Heat at home on a low number. I don't like that. I don't like that too. You're not getting a home discount with this Miami Heat team. But overall, as you start looking at these teams, Miami Heat in the favorite role, 10-9. Listen, this is why I call it the asshole play of the day. I'll tell you exactly why. When you look at these two teams, their history here recently specifically has been to the over. It's hit 6 straight times between these two teams. 6 in a row. The average number 122.7 to 122.3 in a final. So a tightly contested game. Makes sense why the line's sitting at 1 or 2, depending on your book. But we've got the lowest number on the series in the season. In that stretch of 6 gamers, this is the lowest number we've had between the Pacers and the Heat. Do the books know something? Well, let's go back and see if we can leverage the books algorithm. And what do we find? It makes sense. Now we see why this is the lowest number on the dot. And we've got reverse line movement. High-performing defensive teams versus high-scoring offensive teams. What do? They go under. 149 to 90. It's hit 6 times in a row. I call it the asshole play because, on the surface, everything says this has got to be an over. These teams just score. But for me, I'm going to go in with this asshole play of the day. I got the 226.5. I'm good with 225.5. Look, it's either going to be 240 points or 218 points. Question is, which side are we going to catch? I'm hoping that we catch the 218. Obviously, that's where my money's going to lie in this game. And you can tell me, I got it. I see all those trends. But I understand that when they put the lowest number out there, that is for an absolute reason. Then you couple the reverse line movement into it. Now I'm intrigued. Now you got me intrigued. And then when I look back at it and I see what these two teams have done overall, look, the Miami Heat flip-flopping over, under. They play a shit team in the Pelicans, it goes over. They play a good team in the Rockets, it goes under. Now, are the Pacers qualifying in that situation? Probably not. They're 1-3 in their last 4. But they've gone over their last 4. So now you got this team screaming over. But they come up with the lowest number that they're seeing on the season as well. I think somebody knows something. I think we know what that something is. I think we see a tightly contested game between these two teams. First to 100 wins this spot. Maybe they end up popping to 118, but I'm good with it. I'm good with an under. Let's go. Appreciate you guys sharing yours. I hate Notre Dame. Nobody hates Notre Dame more than me. I've been on record all over the place saying how much I hate Notre Dame. And it really just comes down to, it's like why do people like the Yankees? Well, they're the Yankees. When I lived in Philadelphia, everybody loved the Notre Dame. I was like, why? What's Notre Dame? What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. Come on. Stop it. Let's see here. Let's take a peek at the live line because we do want to try to catch these if we can. We have just a second here. We're keeping a brisk pace. Keep your eyes on Loyola Marymount as well. 25-23 right now. Plus 2.5 was the number I got earlier today. I gave it out to some of the fellas. And it's a number that I stand behind. So we're sitting right now. It's 25-23 with a plus 1.5. So just keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on that for a little live action. We got plays popping off. That's what's going to happen here. Let's roll on. Let's keep this pace running. And talk about running. Look at this number. 13.5. Is it 13.5 for a reason? We'll have to look. The Nets opened up at 13.5, and yet it hasn't moved. We have 58% of the bets. We have 63% of the cash on the Bucks, and yet we're starting to see 12.5s out there. Is the number too high? 218.5 is where the total opened up. It's gone to 222. There's even some 222.5s out there. I'd go for this right here. You're at midfield in a playoff game. You got to go for this. 91% of the bets, 89% of the cash are on the over. And again, lofty number. Does it make sense? Well, maybe we do see a score fest in this game, but I found a unique little opportunity to thread the needle. We come at this Bucks team. We see that they're 3-2 in their last 5. The key factor is they scored 120 points their last game. That was against the Pacers. That wasn't over. We just talked about those overs. Prior to that, they had back-to-back losses. They lost to the Nets. There's that Nets team. 111-105. And they were home. It was a -6. They pushed. Flip side, third road game in a row for the Brooklyn Nets. They're struggling. They're 0-3 since the they're 1-3 since the Christmas break. That one being busting up the Bucks December 26th. So the question is going to be, are the Bucks out for revenge or not? But remember, I referenced that 120 points when we see those spots out there. Now I want to look at this injury report real quick too. Let me just take a double peeper here. Bogdanovich out, Melton out. It's always the same fucking guys. Does it matter? Giannis is probable. Middleton's probable. I think the answer is no, it doesn't matter in this case here because it is too many points. Remember that 120 that I aforementioned and referenced out there? When you look at these Bucks, this is one of those spots where you look at how the lines are moving. Scoring less points. So when they score less the last game, they're lined at bigger than a -4. Big favorite after putting up 120 points. They're 1-9 against the spread. It's like a wonky formula where the books kind of know what's happening with these guys and their number. And if you kind of peel that back and start looking into it, yeah, we do have kind of, what do we have here? Let me go back to it. We've got a situation where they haven't been scoring, but they do come off that 120-point spot. And they scored more points their last game than the last time they played the Nets. That puts them in that 1-9 little odd matrix of shitting the bed. Now, do they lose outright? Probably not. But they're struggling against the Nets. This is that team that they kind of look beyond. They're 1-6 their last 7 against them. So if they were going to get revenge somewhere along the way, they only won one of these games by more than 7 points. Now you're popping off at 13.5, and we've got reverse line movement dropping back to 12.5. Points, I think is what we see here. Hoping the Nets can find a way to keep it. They're 5-1 to the over in their last 6 between these two teams as well. So big stop. Asshole's got his fist in the air while they're still trying to figure out who's going down. But I'm going to take these points with the Nets. I'm not taking them on. No, normally when I give you guys a dog, I like to think that they're a live dog. I just think this is too many points. I mean, we're going to see the Nets win this game the Bucks win this game by 20. Highly doubt it. I think we're in there. Might take the over rebounds. No need Trisha M. Dogs win. Dogs win what? Dogs win this game. There. 75% converting on 4th down. We'll see. 4th and 2. I'm behind you guys, so my latency is ultra low. Or ultra high, I should say. Fernando Mendoza likes the Giannis over 30 points in this game. Irish King likes Dallas in regulation. Okay. There's Erica. Jesserica Taylor. OKC game over. Nets game over. I can see that. I can certainly see that. Sir Mackey Loves Pie says the Nets win. I think the Nets cover, for sure. I don't know about win. Be impressive if they did. You know, it'll be one of those games. Watch this game work out this way. I'm smiling because it happens to me so many times. They'll be down to like a 2-point game with 3 minutes left, and they'll be hanging on to like a plus 175. And then I'll jump in on it, and then they'll end up losing outright. And then I got fucked because I took the worst number at a plus money spot, and I should have just gone it. But no, I'm not going to do that. Markel says he's on the Bucks first half. We're going head-to-head. Well, if you're going first half and I got the full game, we're not really going head-to-head. In fact, that supports the equation, especially if we've got probable guys like Giannis. Go out there, they run the score up early, they win by 10 spot for you in the first half, they start sitting guys. All of a sudden, the Nets open up the back door. Don't look now. Dana Delp likes Rutgers plus 5.5, Minnesota plus 5. Okay. That gets us through the NBA. We're through 2 spots in the NBA. We're back to conference play in college hoops. My favorite time of year for college hoops. Things are going to start to, say, normalize. Normalize a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Nasty Nate says Notre Dame is pissing me off. Fernando's wishing the best of luck to Markel. Nasty Nate, I wanted to give you some of these Boston Celtics trends here. The under might not be a bad look in that game. 11-3 the last 14 road games, coming off of back-to-back home games. When they get on the road, oh, there you go. That's how far behind I am. With that being said, Nasty Nate, Minnesota is 1-3 straight up in games in the dog spots out there. They're not winning. They are, however, 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games against the Celtics. It was between the Timberwolves for me and the Nets. And I went Nets. I don't want to cross streams with my man Nasty Nate there. Nasty Nate's the Celtics second quarter. That's your spot, my man. Let's go. Okay, we'll keep this thing rolling. Keep this brisk pace. There's going to be 2 7 o'clock games in college basketball that pop off. Man, there's a shitload of college basketball. Bear with me as I transition this screen and get it rolling. A lot of spots I like. There were only a couple I love. And then when I looked at this card, I was like, how the fuck did I end up here? Okay, Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land. Opens up as a plus 1.5 point road dog. They have moved to 1 point favorites. They've crossed through that 0. There's some 1.5s out there. 48% of the bets are on Oakland, but 82% of the cash, creating that differential that we look for, right? We talk about the percentage of bets, then the percentage of cash. And do we see where some of the bigger money's coming in? Hell yeah, to one of the highest spots on the day to the Oakland Grizzlies. This line's open up at 145.5 on the back number. Not much movement. 61% of the bets, 62% of the cash. And then you got this 10-4 Milwaukee team. Why did Milwaukee open up as a dog if they are 10-4 to a 4-10 Oakland Grizzlies team? Then we look at Oakland, back-to-back road losses, Arkansas and Hawaii. Christmas Day in the Hawaii spot there. 73-70 competitive game. They did not play competitively against Arkansas. They got embarrassed. And they had to sit through that holiday knowing how embarrassed they were. 92-62, flat out humiliated. Milwaukee, 4-game winning streak. Further perplexing, why is this red-hot Milwaukee team coming in as a dog? Definitely a situation. I'll watch more of these guys in this Horizon League as things get rolling. You got to pick your spots. These are one of those things where there's so many good games on. Do you want to get involved in a slugfest out there? But what I do know is this. Oakland, tremendous at home at night in the conference. And I mentioned this is conference play. So as they get rolling into this thing, big factors, again, we start to see more conference play across the board. Pretty much everybody, I think, is now in that conference game situation out there. But look at the conference. Milwaukee's 3-0. Oakland's 1-2. More reason why this line doesn't make any sense. Oakland, again, 8 straight night games against conference opponents. They've come up with the W. You also have a home dog factor. This home dog is going to apply to both these next 2 games that I've got out there. Stop looking over there. When you got an opponent that's shooting less than 75%, and it's a dog of less than 6. So as long as the opponent's not going out there shooting lights out everywhere, and they're not a big dog. Well, the home dogs are 176 and 129. It's on a 4-game winning streak, and it's gone 8-2 in its last 10 for those home dogs. And because Oakland has transitioned and passed over that 0 line, you can catch them at plus 1.5. And that's exactly what I did. I put that out there. I swooped down and I caught myself a little. Oakland, give me the Grizzlies. Yeah, they probably win this game outright. They better, but I'll take the 1.5. I think tight game certainly suggests it. Suspicious line. And I think everybody that steam chased this Milwaukee line past 0 is going to say, why did I take this past 0? Not me, not us. We got the home dog situation. Conference play, holiday week here. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be raucous. And that's going to lead us to this next game as well, because we've got a little American and Navy situation. almost. Not almost, but we'll look at the lines here. Let me get the line pulled up. Where'd it go? Where did it go? There's a whole bunch. I like Hampton at 7 if you guys are looking for other action out there. Look at this. What do we need for this teaser? 39 and a half, I think, for the teaser. It was 38 and a half or 39 and a half. I can't remember. I like Georgia Southern a lot as well, just giving you guys some other plays that kind of caught my attention but didn't make the card, I guess is the best way to say that. Looking on down the line, where are you? There you are. American opened up as 3-point road favorites. There's 2.5s. There's 2s. There's now 1.5s. We've got reverse line movement again. American 52% bets, 57% cash. Navy, again, 2.5 points. Home dogs, same situation. As long as the team's not shooting lights out and they're a dog of less than a 6, they come out there and they fire. 139 is the total. It's dropped to 138.5 and 138s. I think that's drop makes sense. 54% of the bets and 54% of the cash are on the under in this spot out there. And what gives me kind of added confidence in the Navy side. So you got a 6-7 American Eagles, a 3-10 Navy midshipman. They're not shooting lights out, but it's what's happening with American. Maybe it's their defense. Maybe it's when they go on the road in the conference, they struggle. But there's an under machine of brewing out there. 9 straight conference games to the under for this American team. And Navy's been putting up points. They got a 66, a 64. They put up a 72 against a Virginia Tech team, 60 against Coppin, William and Mary. That's one of my favorites, the green and gold. They put up a 76er. They covered that spread. They also had 4 straight road games through the holidays. They're coming back home for the first time. Let's not underestimate the power of a team coming back home. Service Academy, you don't beat up on service academies. And we've got a team in American 0-3 their last 3 games. Now, they did play some competition. They did play St. Joe's. They did play Virginia. They got busted up in both those games. But their last game was at home before they go on the road. So they had 2 road games. They got that little shit stop. And I love to look for these spots. 2 road games. You got that quick jaunt back home after the holidays. Then you're going right back on the road again. That's just a bad scheduling rotation while they try to get in and semblance some type of consistency on their home and road schedule. They got busted up against UMBC. They were 5-point favorites. They lost 96-93 to UMBC. Navy can certainly go out there and hold court. It's going to be a lower scoring game. And that plays, I think, the Navy's benefit. They like to play some low control defense out there, keep the ball in possession and try to keep firing. So we're going to ride this trend on 2 spots tonight with the home dog, less than a 6, with the opponent that shoots less than 75% to keep things moving for us out there. Ugly spots. I told you this card is thanks, CC. Ramon. Milwaukee and Oakland, who's pitching? Mitch thinks the Celtics are bad after a win. Let's go. JPZ likes Long Beach State home dog. Smoke Amir says, anyone looking to get married? Have a wife available? If so, cute little blonde. Thomas Maggio. Do I like Santa Clara? I'll look at that. That's a later start, right? I don't have much. Smoke says, miss half the show. Smoke, we start every day, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We're keeping a brisk pace here. Southern Indiana, Tennessee Tech. I love digging deep into the mud with these college basketball games. I'm not afraid to tackle a Kansas or there's some big trends out there that do make sense, but here we go. Southern Indiana, 6-7. Oh. Tennessee Tech, 6-7. And the battle continues here. This one's going to pop off. I think this is 8 p.m. Let me check. Yep. 10 p.m., 8:30 p.m. My eyesight here these days. 8:30. What do we have? 2 shit squats in what could be called the shit bowl. -2.5. 90% of the bets, 97% of the cash. See something they like with Tennessee Tech. 145's gone to 146. 53% of the bets and 53% of the cash. I looked at this game, and here's one of those, what I thought was the patented schedule spot. Tennessee Tech's coming back home ready to roar. They got a whole ton of road games out there. And on the flip side, Southern Indiana's making only its second road game. Southern Illinois Salukis, and they lost on the road. They were 9.5-point dogs. They did cover, but they have Tennessee State. They don't cover. They bust up Tennessee Martin. Everybody bust up Tennessee Martin. Write that one down. Tennessee Martin might be the worst team in that conference. And then they got Moorhead. They lose outright as a 1-point small favorites. So the books don't see enough in Southern Indiana to go out there rooting and roaring for them. And we've got this Tennessee Tech team coming back home. This is that spot I love to take a shot with there. You guys know the deal. We've talked about these before. And to compound things even more, make it even worse. Nice pass. Make it even worse for the Southern Indiana team. You got Tennessee Tech coming home. Where do they love playing? They love playing at home. They won each of their last 5 games at home. They're coming back home. Holiday season. They've been sitting on their asses since December 19th. They're coming in rested. We got a sleepy little spot. We had the New Year's Eve game for Southern Indiana. Give me Tennessee Tech to open this thing up. Now, I don't know about full game. I don't know enough about these teams to get in there. I just know that it fits the matrix for me. The old system play, Ramon. System play. System play. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take them in the first half. And I like this one. This, especially with a team that 5 straight wins at home. Hasn't been at home and have been playing. I mean, they're rested. They're coming in. These boys are going to come in fired up, ready to attack. Tennessee Tech's going to go out there against Southern Indiana. And it does make me slightly nervous that there's 97% of the cash on them. But I guess that just means the bigger bettors see it the same way I do. They love these spots as much as I do. You're coming back after a lengthy road trip, sitting on your ass. You're rested. You're refreshed. You're recharged. You're ready to put the belt to the ass. And that Southern Indiana ass has a special ring to it when that belt bounces off it. So I think we're going to see that tonight. Thomas Basher says 23-10. So what do I need? I need a touchdown. I need one more touchdown here for my teaser to pop for us here as well. And I'm going to finish this off for you guys. Last game on the card here. We're going to talk more about this in just a half an hour. I'm just going to give you a little teaser. Well, not a teaser like that. I mean a teaser, like a little appetizer teaser. A little something to quench your thirst when it comes to this game here. But I wanted to jump on it before we started missing too much movement as we get closer to game time. Now, they moved this game back 30 minutes. Was supposed to start at 7:30, but to accommodate the scheduling, they said, we'll move it back to 8. We'll go back to 8. We're good team players. We're good stewards of the brand. And 72% of the bets and 71% of the cash are on Ole Miss. 17.5. This thing's moved 5 points. 5 points. Almost a touchdown. The total's gone from 54.5 to 50.5. Reverse line movement alert. 66% of the bets and 56% of the cash coming in on this over. Both these teams rolling in at 9-3. I'll give more of a breakdown as we get into it, not to be redundant out there, but man, at first glance, that's way too many points. And I'll tell you guys this. We'll see how I ultimately pull the trigger on it, but when you got that hot team rolling into the bowl game, they fire. The hot team, we talked about this. I've already cashed twice for us in this bowl. Well, I guess bowl season's running low now, right? But when you got a team that comes into the playoffs or into the postseason winning, they continue. In fact, hot teams right before bowl games are 19-0-1. 19-0-1 is a team. How do you define a hot team? Well, they won their last 3 games as they come into the bowl. Now, the flip side, Ole Miss is 4-1 in their last 5, so it's not like they were slouches. And I'll give you guys some more stuff here. We got some jersey reveals. But I think both teams will be wearing the powder helmets. Ole Miss and the powder helmets roll 3-2. When they wear the white pants, they're 6-2 as well. The spot that I jumped in on, though, is the under. You know, look at these two teams. And look at this total. We've got that big reverse line movement coming in on this thing. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of shootouts in these bowl seasons here, but this game's kind of sleepy. It's kind of tucked in there, and it was an island spot. You know, the public seeing all these overs cash and smash are thinking, it's got to go over. It's got to go over. It's got to go over. Yet, 2 of the last 3 for Duke. 4 of the last 5 for Ole Miss. And they're busting. I mean, they played Georgia. It was a 28-10 win against Georgia. 28-10 win. Ole Miss comes out there against Georgia. And yet people are taking Georgia in this game. Make sure you guys listen to Pregaming. You don't want to miss out. Monday to Friday at 6 p.m. We'll get you guys steering on the right track out there. But I took the under 51 as the number that I got. Shop this one around. We're going to talk some teasers. We're going to talk some sides. We might even get some player props in here. I've got a book that I fired up for this for the big games out there. Let's go. Let's see what happens out there. Like the smiley faces for Notre Dame. What's going on? What am I missing out there? Georgia plus 10.5 live is tempting, but I'm sitting perfect as is. Hard enough to catch a win. That's what I said yesterday. Now we did cash, by the way, that second half under. I forgot to, I talked to you guys about some underplays. I've been throwing those out there, but we've been cashing on them. When we talk about some of these live bets, we did cash again, and it was the under. It didn't matter if you got 21.5 or 22.5 yesterday with that Ohio State game. We did cash. So let's see. Maybe you guys are onto something with this 10.5. Stancho says good for my over. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm going to put a bow on this show, you guys. We're going to get up and rolling here in just about a half an hour. You know the deal. We're going to be joint live streaming. The Sports Money Gang going to come in with their plays for this big college football tax layer bowl game. Hey, we got no NFL, but that's no problem. We find a way to get this cash. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. And we'll see you guys in just 30 minutes. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, Curtis blow, flow, fuck all you haters. Fuck making big shoes and bet simulators. Fuck cashing in, all we wanna do is win. Put the juice in the gin, now it's time to begin. Fuck the books, they can take it on the chin. Surrendering dividends, don't fuck with mine. Damn, the show starts with capping and ends with them slapping and stacking cash and boatloads. They won't know what happens with pre-gaming and others. They seem lame, like Abel meeting Cain. Bullet to the brain. We don't give a fuck like Kiki said. We ain't playing, we ain't game, but we ain't playing.
I'm back and I'm joined with my guy